Hi there, it's Joe, and I'm here to review the PlayStation 4 Pro. The Pro is certainly an exciting console, and it's new and at this time the most powerful home console we've ever had, but at the same time, it's also a bit of an anticlimax. Aesthetically, it looks like a black sandwich, you know, the one you get somewhere in a McDonald's in Japan, but at the same time, it's a bit of a looker too. One of the first things you'll notice about the PS4 Pro is that it's very heavy. In fact, I've compared it to both the PS4 and the Xbox One S and it outweighs both of them, while it's also deeper than both too, although surprisingly not wider. The Pro does have the look of a beefier console, though this is not shown in the ports such as two USB on the front and the same ports as those seen on the back of a standard PS4 with the exception of an extra USB port, which is a nice touch. The buttons on the front meanwhile are now push rather than touch, although to be honest I prefer this as it feels like the machine is actually responding to what I'm doing rather than me having to stand there with it beeping at me for 30 seconds. When you finally do get around to turn the console on, this is when the anticlimax kicks in, mainly because the UI is exactly the same as before. Now of course I understand this decision, because it'd be a bit stupid changing the UI when you're trying to convince people that Pro is part of the same family, but still, it's a little disheartening when you see that nothing has changed once you fire up this otherwise impressive piece of kit. Of course, the main reason for buying PS4 Pro is the games, and this is where things get complicated. While it's fair to say that there are a whole load of day one patches to take advantage of the new system, results are mixed and very much depend whether you're playing on a standard or 4K television. Even then, things aren't clear cut because even if you have a 4K TV with HDR, not all have the required brightness to make this feature stand out. And let's not kid ourselves here, playing the game with HDR is a game changer. In fact, I'd go as far to say that HDR makes a game stand out more than 4K does. I feel confident saying this because I've played Forza Horizon 3 and Gears of War 4 on Xbox One S, and to me the HDR makes them look stunning. Given this, you can imagine how games look while playing in a developer's version of 4K combined with HDR. Quite frankly, the difference is mind-blowing. Take Infamous, it looks like a completely different game, as thanks to its bright colours and beautifully designed environments, the game practically bleeds out of the screen. Of course, developers are free to do what they like, and therefore many have different approaches. Crystal Dynamics has decided to add 3 options for Tomb Raider, which includes 4K visuals, a more stable frame rate and high fidelity graphics. To be honest, I tried all 3 and barely noticed the difference between them, and given that I was playing on a Samsung UE55 GS9000, I can feel confident that it wasn't down to TV. The Last of Us Remastered meanwhile looks stunning to me, as did Ratchet & Clank. Maybe the results will be different for everyone, but it's clear from some of the updates that games have received that PS4 Pro can and will make a difference if this extra power is utilised properly. It feels to me that the games play smoother too, although I do wonder sometimes if they actually do, or if I'm just being fooled into the hype of this supercharged PS4. There still isn't a huge difference, and it's likely that only those who play games often like me will notice the difference. But then isn't that who the console's aimed at anyway? The professional gamer, those to whom the best graphics and frame rate are all that matter. The Pro certainly isn't going to make games more original, that's for sure. If only it would, then perhaps we'd have something other than a sequel to choose from in November. When it comes to PlayStation VR, for the only games I've played so far, Battlezone and PlayStation Worlds, there's certainly a noticeable difference in lighting and textures, as everything just seems to be much brighter and sharper than before. So once again, it's sort of difference that gamers such as myself will appreciate. I'm fairly confident that once developers get to grips with the console, that's when we'll really start to see the difference in both VR and standard games. I can imagine Horizon Zero Dawn being one of the first games to truly utilise the power of the console. Of course, there are issues with the PS4 Pro, for instance. Why Sony forgot to put Ultra HD Blu-ray drive in there is beyond me. Honestly, what was Sony thinking? Also, why can't HDR pass through the PlayStation VR breakout box? It's a decision that totally baffles me. The PS4 Pro can support 4K and streaming services such as Netflix and YouTube, yet it can't play Ultra Blu-ray. Oh, and you also need to unplug a mountain of wires connecting the PSVR before you can take advantage of HDR. What's that about? Come on, Sony, you're better than that. So there we have it, PS4 Pro. It's a console that does make a huge difference to the majority of games I've played so far, and there's no doubt that they do look proper stunning when combined with checkerboard 4K and HDR. Those on a standard TV will likely benefit from smoother gameplay and in some cases even enhanced textures, but to truly appreciate a pair of this supercharged console, a brand new 4K HDR TV is most certainly the way to go. This has been Joe. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.